Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to the Dr. Pepper All-Star Tournament Fnatic Qualifier 1 with yours truly, Metis. Alongside me is Stress, and as you can see, we are live here into the next game in the picks and bans stage. Again, we're going to be casting Globalrisk and seeing if they progress through any further in this tournament.
We are indeed, and let's take a quick look at one of the bans so far. Shyvana, Ziggs, LeBlanc, Caitlyn. So LeBlanc, not too surprising we're seeing a ban out. This time it is from Globalrisk. Turikmo was the player playing LeBlanc in the last game, but without having first pick, they probably just don't want that happening again, or don't want it happening to them this time.
Yeah, it's crazy strong, as we saw in that last game, and they certainly don't want any part of that, so it's going to be taken away. Caitlyn has also been banned, which is a fairly interesting one. There was a time when Caitlyn was banned pretty often, but hasn't been seen a great deal recently. So clearly they're going for... Well, I'm trying to think about this one. They may be going for a Graves again, when I think about it. Because for the reason you mentioned in the previous game, Caitlyn typically does pretty well against Graves. And maybe they just don't want any part of that in the laning phase.
Yeah, I think that's a valid option here for them. Another option is a lot of AD carries right now are just saying that Lucian is so unbelievably strong as well. So that's another champion that Caitlyn kind of does kind of well against. So not too surprising to see that Jax ban as well as the last ban. We've seen a lot of Jax, saw it in the last game, and it really just is such a strong top laner right now. But that has let through an Evelynn, but we haven't really seen Evelynn all that much recently, if I'm being honest. Seen her in a couple of games here and there, still pretty strong in the jungle, but not really as high prioritized as, for instance, a Xin Zhao or Nocturne we've seen a lot of recently. So interesting to see Evelynn again.
Yeah, and both of the junglers you mentioned are still very much available as well, so it's going to be interesting to see here if Globalrisk do try and pick up the Lee Sin, or if they do go for something like Xin and try and play more tanky up in the face. Janna gets locked in. Now, that's an interesting one. I'm assuming that's support, but it's not completely out of the realms of possibility. I've seen this in the past where you get like Janna mid AP, which is actually not terrible.
So we saw... Goodness, who was it the other day that played Janna? It was on an LCS stream. I'm racking my brain for it. Janna was played the other day, and I remember it was in a composition that just didn't really work. I want to say it was like Janna. It was like a double AP composition. Janna Monsoon were like against another part of crowd control, but I'm kind of slipping my mind. So we've seen Janna a little bit. Not really seen that much though, as you said. So. Interesting pickup here. We'll see where they go with that one. But Morgana and Lucian have been locked in on the side of Black Turtle Gaming, I believe they're called.
Yes, BlackTG. And obviously, if you have just joined us, the other team is Globalrisk. TFG Globalrisk to be precise, but there's a lot of letters in there. I've never been good with acronyms. When you have two teams that don't even have their tags on, it's very confusing for us as casters, Stress. So yeah. Yeah,
it's a little confusing at times, but I think we can kind of cope just a little bit. There's a GR in there on Shivel, so it should just be enough. As long as one player has a tag on, it tends to be okay, I think.
That's a good point, actually. I didn't even twig that GR stood for Globalrisk, because that's how special I am. We were speaking about them potentially going for something like Graves short ranged AD carry. In fact, it's going to be Jinx instead. So that also makes a lot more sense with Janna, who I'm now assuming is going to be the support, because similar to Morgana, although in a very different way, is extremely good at peeling for the AD carries, extremely good at keeping AD carries alive. You've got the either Storm Shield, you've got your Howling Gale, and of course the Monsoon as well, so just all around goodness.
Goodness, yes, all around goodness. Sorry, I'm getting flashbacks to I-51 where the use of the word goodness is to describe the ice cream, but yeah, we are in this Dr. Pepper All-Stars tournament. Looking for a team here for Xpeke. So, Zac. That would, in this lineup, be Zac Jungle if they were to lock that in, which I have not seen in a very long time.
Yeah, indeed. Unless they were looking for Lee Sin top, but I'm not too sure, because they're switching over anyway. So, maybe Soraka in mid? It's not unheard of.
Oh, of course they got Lee Sin. So yeah, it wouldn't be Zac jungle at all. That's it's been a long day of spectator issues. Ooh, Lissandra. Okay, so Lissandra mid lane against Nidalee. Quite a lot of poke in that lane.
Well, yeah, so you can have Lissandra against Nid in mid, and then Janna, but they have to make sure that they don't screw their ultimates up, because if Lissandra goes in, and then Janna monsoons, then that's just sad times all around for Globalrisk. That's very much counterintuitive play, but I'm assuming they're going to have the synergy locked down to make that happen. And it has to be said as well that if Lissandra is locking someone down with the Frozen Tomb, then Jinx is just free to go crazy at the backlines.
Yeah, indeed. Makes them have a good spot for flame chompers, zap, everything like that, and really is just a good way of setting up those team fights. So we haven't seen Lissandra in the middle lane in a long time either. Seen her in top lane. We'll see how her return to the middle lane does end up working out. But we're going to head to a break here as we get into this game here in the Dr. Pepper All-Stars Tournament 2014. We will be back in just a few minutes.
Made up of rabbits that inject a venomous toxin into their victims. These frightening swarms are the result of an experiment gone wrong, a deadly mistake.
Hello, welcome back, ladies and gents. We are on the Rift here for this best of one between BlackTG and Globalrisk. As you can see, players already moving in, filtering into positions. Plenty of pings in spawn, which is a bit weird. Not too sure
It's
what's
going
going
to be
on
one
there.
of those games.
Yeah, dearie me. Anyway, as you just heard, my lovely co-caster Stress there. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. A lot of pings in my ears right now. Which,
Yeah.
thank goodness my volume isn't too high, because I used to cast with much higher game volume, and oh my god, did these ping things really start to get to me.
Yeah, because some teams would do it for just no conceivable reason. They're like pinging on blue and spawn. I've no idea. Maybe they're going for a fountain dive at level 1. Strangest
Sounds
things have
legit.
happened.
Legit tactics.
Yeah, solid bronze 5 tactics right there. In fact, I don't even think the bronze 5 players would do that.
I would hope not. I'd like to think they have a little bit more skill in that, but you never know. You never know.
True. But you can see now that BlackTG are lurking in this bush, and they may be coming in for the late invade onto blue. That looks the most likely occurrence here. There's going to be a 4 versus 3 if they do just that, and here they go. They're going in right now. Xcruel taking point. Blue is going down around 50%, but they're looking to try and capitalize on this. Given gets caught by a dart biting. That's going to be the end of his life. First blood goes to Lucian. And on top of that, they're probably going to be stealing Lady's blue. Indeed, they do. So that puts Dolly in a horrific position now.
Yeah, and now the teleport up to the top lane for Trundle's going to let him get to lane in time, and that's just a really nice buff steal there. Late invade, a little bit different from what we normally see these days with the earlier invades, but Xcruel gets himself that blue buff, forces Lee Sin to really make a decision, because he's almost forced to head over to their own blue, which has been warded, or Eve goes over there to stop him, which looks like what she's going to do.
Yeah, he's trying, but head scratcher.
Yeah, in fact, Eve's just going to take her own blue. Okay, that's another way that this works out. Is Lee Sin doesn't go aggressive at all and gives Eve 3 buffs. So that's a nice start.
Yeah, we are also getting towards that stage in the tournament as well, where a lot of the weaker teams have kind of been taken out already, so now you're getting these kind of teams. Now I was checking before, these guys, in fact, Gibbon just walks into a minefield for no reason whatsoever, and in doing so is going to force 2 summoners. Exhaust and Heal will both utilize the process. Top lane, actually, that's going to be Chival going down. Just global pressure coming down from both teams. But what I was going to say is, having a look at their stats, they were Challenger and Diamond players last season, BlackTG. Very good team.
Okay, so they should have the advantage in this game, you'd think, is actually a 1v1 kill in top lane. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like it is. Trundle should not kill Renekton at level 2 in a 1v1 where Trundle invaded on blue buff and then teleported to lane. I'm just gonna say that straight up.
Can't disagree with you. I'm very surprised it happened. That's kind of why I wasn't even paying attention to top lane, because I was like, nah, there's not going to be a kill there until probably 4, 5, 6. Nope. The 1v1 kill, which is something that we rarely see at Challenger level anyway.
It just looked like the lane didn't really play out how Renekton would have liked it. Maybe he was a little overextended, didn't quite have the cooldown on Column to sustain himself up and stuck around a while. That's like the only thing I can think of that would have really set that lane off, because with no ignites, you see kills less frequently as well in the top lane. So an igniteless level 2, level 3 kill, really surprising.
What I would say is, at bot lane, look at that disparity between the AD carries. Lucian 25, Jinx on 8. Yes, he got first blood, but he's not been back to buy up items yet. So that is just a pure outplay at the bot lane in favour of BlackTG.
Yeah, we saw those earlier summoners getting burned, which I think has a little bit to do with it, but look, you can just see the zoning here from BlackTG. Morgana's in a situation where she can put down this damage and harass from the side and block out most of the minions from that point. And from there, they're just really holding everything, and Chival's already low in that top lane once again, so they've got to be careful that when Trundle hits 6, which he's about at 3/4 of a level away, Trundle's going to all-in Renekton again, and is likely to get a kill if Chival isn't playing this a little bit smarter.
Yeah, exactly, and that's definitely going to put Chival in a situation he doesn't want to be in, where he has to constantly be making sure everything's a-okay. Dolly comes down for the gank, but nothing landing there. Dark Binding, however, on the flip side on Bazinga, who's going to take a bunch of damage from Lucian. And again, they just forced them back.
There's a lot of damage in the middle lane as well. Evelyn came around the side for a gank coming out of the top side jungle and landed quite a lot of damage onto Torikman, forced out a couple of flask charges as well. But heading up to the top lane now as Zonax is looking for a kill.
Yeah, Cruel doesn't have his flash. There goes the Pillar of Ice, and that is going to secure the second kill for Zonax. So he's just getting massive, and he's going to outscale Renekton so big, and he's already starting well. Lissandra in mid could be going down, uses the Frozen Tomb, and actually Nidalee misses with the spear. So somehow Torek manages to survive by the skin of his teeth.
Oh man, that was so close. And the danger's not over yet. We all know what a Nidalee can do until Lissandra completes that back, which she does end up doing. Until that point, that was still pretty dangerous there for Globalrisk. But, you know, this is a good start for Black Turtle Gaming, and they've got a pretty good team composition for taking this and advancing the game. There's a Dark Binding in the bottom lane.
Oh my goodness, forces the flash. That's going to be Duck also flashing in, though, gets the piercing light at the end. And this is all happening because of Morgana's Dark Bindings. Pretty much every single one that lands is transitioning into a bunch of auto attacks and piercing light from Lucian. Yeah,
there's just some really good Dark Bindings coming out in the beginning of this game. We're only 7 minutes in, 4 kills to 0 up, and nearly 3,000 gold as well. That's a staggering lead.
I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce Morgana's name. King Fleen, is it Flien Dian?
I decided not to. I took one look at that and was like, you're getting called Morgana for this game.
Or just King, which I'm pretty sure is probably his team tag somewhere along the line, but yeah, apologies if I'm brutalizing that name. Lissandra walks into the javelin. That's never a great idea.
Yeah, sorry Morgana. I don't even know what language that is. Now I'm just coming across as really ignorant on stream, but I'm not too good with...
Oh, both junglers actually bumping heads. It's going to be Lee Sin picking up the blue, but he's being chased down by Evelyn. Safeguarding through the wall will be okay. I think it's Dutch or German. We do actually have a Dutch producer. Is that Dutch? Ruben? Morgana's name, is that Dutch? Okay.
You'd think he'd know if it was Dutch.
You'd think he'd know it's a native Dutch speaker. You wouldn't have to think about it. It's German. Okay, there you go then.
Okay, my German's not that good. I'm gonna be honest. I started learning German actually. It's a strange anecdote. Just randomly started learning German. Wow, and now our producer's grilling me for learning a foreign language. Wow. I'll have you know, I roughly know 2 languages anyway, because I'm Welsh. Therefore, we have to learn our ancient language, which nobody speaks anymore. So, we're not quite as bad as the English, where we don't learn any other languages, because we're forced to in school.
The racism, though. I'm getting abused by a Welshman and a Dutchman in my ear right now. This is not fair. Chivalry is getting abused by Zonax at the top lane. He's already 2-0. There's a subjugate. Maybe he used a bit prematurely there. But he will force Chivalry back regardless. He is very low right now.
Oh, that's such a big lead in that top lane, and really Renekton should have this early game advantage right now, but he just, after that 1v1 kill, has not been able to actually get any kind of a lead in lane. He's still got Dominus available, but 2 levels down in lane already is not a good place for him to be.
Certainly not. And this is going to almost force Lee Sin's hand, where he has to come to top to try and steady the ship there, and in doing so he's going to lose presence elsewhere on the map. Though, again, Trundle is just going to get bigger and bigger, and indeed Lee Sin is coming around from the side. Dolidu should be able to close the gap here. Subjugate's already been used, so that is a free kill. I'm a bit surprised that Zonax stayed around for so long without his ultimate.
Yeah, that was just overconfidence, and that's honestly what Globalrisk need to do to offset that top lane once again, because really that was just Zonax just sticking around too long, as he said, and they really shouldn't have given that kill away.
Yeah, and in doing so as well, although it didn't go to Renekton, this is going to give him some time to get some farm. He also got the assist, so all around very nicely done by Globalrisk, and that is, it's not going to equalise what's happened at top, but it's certainly going to put the brakes on that Behemoth coming down the tracks. Meanwhile, Dragon is being picked up from the blue side. And in fact, oh, I thought for a second Lissandra had stole that one. Regardless, may very well try and pick up some kills off the back of this one. Here comes Chivalry from the side with the teleport. They're going to look for that first kill, but the Dominus is not available. Dolidu from the side is going to pick up one. Monsoon resets this fight. Torikmar's taking a bunch though. Meanwhile, from Nidalee, they're going to re-engage on top of Lucian, who's in all sorts of trouble at the back. Can Trundle get close enough? Sonics, no, he's going to fall. And Dullydoo comes through the side, then Shutdown will be in effect. Nidalee going to try and clean this one up on the meanwhile. What a scrappy fight this turned out to be. Double kill for Nidalee. Zap, they're going at it 1-for-1, just duking it out in the center of the ring. It looks like Nidalee's going to get the upper hand with the red buff. Comes through with a pounce, gets the triple, looking for the quadra right now. And the chasing power of Nidalee should come good. One auto attack will do it. There we go. Quadra kill for Nidalee.
Massive quadra kill for Nidalee, and just the benefit of, in that fight, being able to change between Cougar form and human and jump around and, you know, not expend a lot of mana. She needed to pick up kills there, but was in a situation where she really didn't have the cooldowns and mana available to actually output those final 2 kills. But 2 low health members stacking against a Nidalee is not that great, and Nidalee picks up the both of them there, and really important passage of play there. They secure the dragon and turn that fight around, because up until that point, Globalrisk were really struggling, were really dominating that fight, actually, when you look at the fact that I think they even took out 3 or 4 members there from Black Turtle, so a really nice turnaround to even up and take the lead of that fight.
Yeah, looking ominous. So is it at top lane now for Cheval? He does now have his Dominus, but it's not going to be enough when Evelyn secures that one for her first kill of the round. Dullydoo lands the kill. He's like, no, 1v2, no thanks. I don't want any part of this.
Yeah, does not want the Evelyn and the Trundle. And there was a low health ping flash up somewhere. I believe it was just in the middle lane. A spear landing from Nidalee. Gotta keep on top of the... Oh, there's another one. That's a dead Lissandra. Or not. She gets the Ring of Frost off. Oh, Lissandra. I forget how much crowd control you have.
I thought that Tarek was a dead man. Javelin, though, does this have the range? No, and he also aimed at the wrong side anyway.
Yeah, I always forget how much crowd control Lissandra actually has. Top lane flash comes forward from X-Cruel. Didn't quite get the kill. The burn is on from the Elder Lizard, but it is not enough.
It's not. It will force Lee Sin away, and bot lane as well. Again, just action across the board. It will be a 1-for-1, but Nidalee picks up the kill on Janna, whereas Jinx gets the kill. In fact, double kill as well for Nidalee. So Quadra into another double. That's going to be a very big Nidalee. 6-0 already. Top lane now flashing up red. It's going to be another kill. X-Cruel will be falling.
X-Cruel falls from that as well. Naga now no mana, no health, and has a very angry Lissandra who is just waiting for that glacial path to come out, but it is 10 seconds away, so not going to be able to get in range from that after having forced the flash earlier.
Yeah, indeed. Now, we normally talk about Nidalee being the kind of mid laner that really starts to excel once the likes of Athene's into Needlessly Large Rod, Void Staff and such. 6-0-1. Has just picked up Athene's Unholy Grail, has 1.8k to spend. That is going to be brutal to play against if you are currently on the side of Globalrisk, because you're seeing the burst coming in. Pounce as well from Buku, but he has to back away here. It's a bit too dangerous. Or is it? He's going back in. The cavalry was firing, but there is the claw once again.
Yeah, managed to get away with that, but it took so much damage for it, and it's actually going to attempt this blue buff. Okay, they have got Lee Sin... Oh, coming across. Not quite as fast as they would have liked it, though. This is actually a pretty dangerous position if Black Turtle were to have figured out what was going on there, but they are retreating to their own blue buff for themselves. But let's take a look at items and try and figure out maybe how Globalrisk can come back into this, because Nidalee's heading back home, 2.1k gold, so that's going to be a needlessly large rod at least, I would imagine. As for the rest of the team, Trundle's already got his Bladed Rune King, and it's a tricky spot to be in. Spear wasn't quite on point for that prediction, but that would have been a pretty nice kill there.
Yeah, it would have been some style points, and it also would have been more gold to maybe wait back to get the Large Rod and Blasting one for the components for the Rabadon's Death Cap. But instead, Nidalee's going to pick up those Wraiths. You can see that Lee Sin is moving into position, but I don't think he wants this fight. He's 3 levels behind. That's a pretty big Nidalee right now. In fact, Nidalee misses the Javelin, so he's going back in for seconds. That top lane, again, Zononzax is going to get the upper hand on his opposite number. And I was still keeping an eye on mid lane. Looks like Lee Sin will back away finally.
Yeah, you had to use the kick, though, so that's one big portion there. Ooh, didn't quite land that Ring of Frost, but I think Lissandra appearing should be enough for Nidalee to want to back away from this one. Doesn't really want to take that kind of engagement. So, I say that is actually just going to heal herself up and stick around. So 2.5k gold, who needs to go shopping when you're doing this well?
Yeah, I guess it's the case right now for Nidalee, saying that I know I'm stronger still, even though I haven't been back to buy for quite a while. I'm 2 levels above. I've got blue buff. I can constantly heal myself. I may as well just stay in this for the long haul and try and pick up kills, but getting ulted underneath the tower is never a great position to be in, but my goodness, that damage. Gets the kill, flashes away, and picks up even more gold.
Yeah, he's going to hang around here as well and push this tower down, so that's a big passage of play here for Nidalee. Really just getting so much value out of sticking around in this middle lane. Dark Binding in the bottom.
Yeah, and then it's going to be the ultimate Agony's Embrace as well from Xcruel, who's going underneath the tower, has been exhausted there, and that definitely keeps them both alive. So nicely done by Bazinga. Still, they're just delaying the inevitable here because this tower is very vulnerable now. They're waiting for the creeps, and they'll probably try and push it down.
Nidalee actually just saying, screw it, I'll stick around for even more gold, and then go straight towards a Rabadon's Death Cap, but not able... Oh yeah, just having enough to finish that
insta-buy.
out.
Wow,
Yeah,
16 and a half minutes, man.
Not bad. That's a pretty strong Nidalee.
That's a terrifying Cougar. That one javelin at this point is probably gonna take away at least half of anyone's HP.
Yeah, that's probably about right. Let's have a look actually. 230 plus 203 plus up to 575 plus 507. There you go.
There you go, Bazinga. Thanks for proving the point. He just eats more than 3/4, and Belly do again going super aggressive, but Torikmal wasn't quite on the same page, and this should be Buku pretty much okay. Xcruel from the side, they got their red mist descended too much, the tunnel vision chimed in, and that was a huge over-aggressive play, and they're going to pay for this with multiple lives. Here comes Lucian from the backside, will secure that kill. Now Cheval is in all sorts of trouble. He's got the Dominus up, but that's not going to keep him alive, and that's all off Dully Dude just going too aggressive.
Oh man, and now Jinx is cut out. Dark Binding, another great Dark Binding in this game, and that's another kill. That's 4 in quick succession here in favour of Black Turtle and I was going to say Black Turtle Entertainment, but Turtle Entertainment is something completely different. Black Turtle will take down 4 kills and take down a turret there with that one. So now they'll advance on towards this inhibitor turret. It's only 18 minutes into this game, and they are going to get this.
Yeah, with pretty much ease as well. So the tower is going to be falling right now. In fact, is it? Just one more auto attack would do it.
Interestingly, that's a Janna shield that kept that alive.
Oh, and they've over-aggressed now on the opposite side. That's BlackTG falling. 2 members have already gone. And again, it's just a case of overstaying. However, Buku does have the capabilities to clean this fight back up. There is the floor coming in. Double kill for Nidalee. Looking for Cheval's name as well, gets the triple. The Quadra is actually on, the Penta could be on as well. Is Bazinga going to go down? Will they give him the Penta kill? Buku's still chasing, and he gets the Penta. A Quadra and a Penta in the same game, are you kidding me?
Buku is just on fire right now. There's not a lot that can be done against this Nidalee. My god, she was so low at the beginning of that fight. Just jumped around the fight completely, healing herself up every time heal was available, and just taking down every single member of Globalrisk. And we thought that held. We thought Globalrisk maybe were able to hold that one off because Black Turtle just kind of didn't get the tower and were getting very low from that. But Buku just turning things around. There's no other way of saying it.
We've watched Globalrisk play the last 2 games. They've won confidently, but they've been made to look a very average, ordinary team here from BlackTG. This has been a clinical performance by them. 14-0 Nidalee at 19.5 minutes. What the hell?
Nearly averaging kill participation of once per minute at this rate. 17 kills being participated in by Nidalee and only 19 minutes on the clock, as you said. So another double or triple pretty quickly would be a pretty impressive stat to throw out there. But that was I'm still looking back at this that pentakill. It's actually on the stream now from my side of things, and that's a pretty impressive stat line to have right now for Nidalee. I'm not gonna lie, and they are oh so far ahead.
Yeah, Void Staff as well, as if she didn't have enough damage already. I wonder at this point, Stress, if one javelin landed on Bazinga max range, is that a one-shot? It must be close.
It's gotta be close. Let's take a look. Bazinga's at 1200 health, so a spear right now if Buku will change to human form, but too busy playing with food right now.
Too busy killing. 15th kill.
Okay, so maximum 5-7. Yeah, it would. 575 plus at least 715. When you take into account that it's pretty much without any kind of MR here, it might be like a 1 health left, essentially. I kind of want to see that. Buku, come on, hit max range spear.
Come on, Bazinga, just stand still.
Bazinga, just stand still. I want it. That would be incredible to see. I've never seen that happen.
We want an experiment to come through here. Come on.
Now the problem with them standing still is we're going to get trolled and we're going to reconnect to the game.
Yeah,
if they
I was a bit worried.
Still.
Oh. Yeah, that sure is a Fed Nidalee.
Yeah. I have a feeling that if that lands on even someone like Torikman, it's going to pretty much one-shot whoever. Oh, come on, Bazinga. I'm sorry, we've completely devolved from casting now to just playing the spear game, because I'm going to be honest, this game is pretty much in the books now. There's not a lot that Globalrisk could do.
It's over.
But Nidalee is at least keeping us entertained.
Yeah, oh, I thought again.
I thought that was getting it.
Yeah, me too. He's looking for them. Oh, Frozen Tomb, it's going to come scumbag. Oh, no, okay, we got the answer.
Yeah, we got the answer.
But still doing a lot of damage. There's the GG. No big surprises there. Buku finishes the game. 17 kills, 0 deaths, 3 assists.
That's a pretty strong performance, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so you know, Xpeke is a mid lane player. Maybe he's just seen his mid laner. Who knows? You know, having a performance that good is pretty big statement being made there by Buku for this team.
And the thing as well is, you're looking at joining Xpeke, right? This is his qualifier. A mid laner who's performed that well, he must be feeling pretty good right now. He must have a lot of confidence, because that was a quadra kill into a pentakill afterwards.
It's pretty good. That's I don't think I've seen Peke do that. Well, not in a lot of games at least.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure if he would have the same problem against a team like Globalrisk, and that's not being, harsh. It's not making fun of them or anything. But I feel there was quite a big skill gap between the two teams overall. I don't think that's an unfair thing to say.
No, I think that's justified. I mean, this is an open tournament, so during the earlier rounds, you'd start getting this kind of disparity between teams anyway. But we are going to try and jump into the next game. I believe the next round for us is going to be round 6, so we're nearing the top stages of this bracket. So hopefully things should start evening out with the teams, but we'll be back with